All right, I'm back. All right, let's start working on the sides here. So I'm gonna move some of these off here. That's the white. Leave some of these on here. Okay. All right. Take a break. Had some lunch. Walked my dog. But we're ready to go again. Okay, so I'm gonna work on this section right here. So on the reference picture, see mostly in shade, but if you look at the color, you can see the violet in it. Right? There's like a warmth to it. So let's try to get that in. Let's see, was this the French ultramarine? That's a French ultramarine, so we're gonna use that. Let's see what this one, maybe we'll use this one. This is a little bit lighter, and it is royal blue, but it kind of leans to that French ultramarine color. I'm gonna start with a layer of this here in the shaded areas. Okay. It's kind of a lighter ultramarine color, which just would be perfect. All right, get it into this area. Mostly in the shaded parts here. Just gonna rub it right into it. Kind of up in here. Kind of going over that Nupastel light blue with it. Okay, because it's up in the trees, kind of clumped up on the branches. All right. And the shaded parts. I'll come in here with some lights and kind of bring some highlights to it, but right now just work on the shaded part. All right, there's a tree in there. It's got some snow-covered branches kind of coming through. Okay, up in here. All right. So that same paper really pulls off the oil pastel really nicely. Drops it right on there. No problem. Just cover this whole foreground with it. All right, then I'm gonna take my finger and I'm just gonna smear that into it, kind of spread it around. Spread it in there, smooth it out. Get it right up into the edge there. Where is it? There it is. Some more of it right here. I'll put some right here too. It's in this shaded part of this rock. The back part of that is snow covered. Down in here, right on the water, some snow covering it, parts of it. Right, we're like we're rounding that out as it gets down to that creek. We'll round it out. Don't lose the edges of the dark, so I'm going to come back in. Some of that rock here is kind of showing. Let's see, kind of see one piece of it here. And there's pieces of it in here. There, a piece of it there. It's a nice blue. It's called a royal blue, but it honestly just looks like French ultramarine blue. But it's perfect for this application of this shaded snow area. Need that black. Where's the black? Right here. A little bit of black right there. Alright, so I'm getting that nice royal blue in there, smear it around. Notice oops, that's okay. It's okay if a little bit of that dark comes in. Pretend that's a rock right there. Okay, keep going. Some shaded parts in the snow here. All right, and this is the white, so I want to make sure I don't accidentally grab that and use it yet. Let's save that for the last part of this, if we even use it. So now I'm going to bring in some of this highlight here that kind of cuts in between as the light kind of filters through, kind of drops a little bit of light here and there. Right, little bits of light and shade in there, all mixed in. I'm going to remove some paper. So I'm rubbing it down a little bit. Okay, bring in some more light over here on this side. We see light. The sun kind of filters through, drops a little light in some areas. So I kind of put some in and I kind of smear it with my finger to try to fade it out a little bit. Some areas are lit more than others, so I won't do that to every single thing. Then I'll come back in, drop a little bit of shade. Right. Just try to pretend that light's kind of filtering through. Okay. All right, so you get the idea. You kind of just play around with it. Try to find those little light marks and put them in there. Now we're going to put some on these branches right here. I think I'm going to go with a whiter white. Let's go with that white. So switch over to the white since it's really in bright sunlighted area right here. There's these branches here that find that light that comes through. Just kind of hit it here and there. Okay. Now let's go back with this violet and just put a little bit on that, just to see what that looks like. Kind of warms it up a little. All right. Just put a little bit of warmth in there, some here and there, bits and pieces, not every single one. Right, a little bit of warmth in there, a little violets on top of that royal blue. Okay. Down in the shadows. Right here, I need a little bit more. There we go. And here too, right there. All right. All right, need to be brighter right in here. So I'm gonna bring some of that white. You can see with the white, how bright that is with the white. And then right in here, it continues up. Okay, and then the white over here, where it's that brightest sun hitting that area. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to bring in a little bit of the gray blue, they call this. Hang on, let me get back to my reference. All right, so right at here, we're going to bring some of this lighter blue, bring it right here. Just adds a different dimension to it. Okay. here. All right, now let's go over to this side and kind of maybe do the same thing. So where's that royal blue right here? Okay, let's spread this first. Spread the royal blue first, get it blue, nice and blue. And we got a shaded, got this tree here we'll work on. Okay, let's find that blue. All right, just work on the shadows. So just make it all blue for the most part. And spread that out. Spread it around. And I'm definitely going to add some of this to lighten that up right there. Right, nice thick snowy scene. And it's trying to create some shadows with it, so I'm just going to kind of bring it through some of this blue and try to create some interesting shadows with it. Got the shadow of the tree here, the tree trunk. Smooth it out. Okay. Smooth that out. All right, and then that trunk there, the shadow of it's going to be like right here. So we just kind of cut in with the light around that to indicate that shadow. Okay. These big snow clumps here. Ooh, that's white. Don't want to use white. Big snow clumps. Got this rock here, right in the front. And this shaded part of that is kind of this violet, it's got this violet into it. Oops, it's kind of lifting off when I applied that right there. I try to lift right off. It's kind of weird, right? That spot right there for some reason. I'm going to put some white on it. There we go. A little better. And maybe down here a little bit of a darker blue just to fade it out. Okay. Right at the edges here is nice and dark. Alright, kind of the rock, dark rock, kind of snow kind of comes around it in different angles. And you can, water is a little bit of a brownish, kind of this dark brown color, this water. Right, and then right where the sun hits it, it kind of really reflects a lot of this white reflecting back to us here. Bright white right in there. Okay. Let's kind of keep playing with it. Oops, dropped one. Dropped my white. Okay, let's come back up here. I'm gonna add a little bit of the lighter gray to some of these. Still got to add in these trunks here, so let's actually start doing that. Let's get that, what is this gray I used back here? We're just going to use it for the trunks here. These trees that are kind of right up here. Okay, so there's one. I'm not going to do all of them that way, just some of these. Some of these I'm going to kind of leave that same color because I want them to kind of sit back in the shadows a little bit, but some of these I do want to bring out a little here with this gray. Okay. There's a branch that comes out. Some branches that come out from it. Right, and then we can get this brown color and also do some branches with it. A little bit darker. Okay, so that's a little bit different. And then bring a little highlight to some of those. As the sun kind of hits it a little bit. Okay. Maybe the sun kind of hits right here a little. Right in here. Very light pressure. Just kind of let the paper kind of grab it off a little bit and just leave a little bit of light in there. Just kind of do something like that. Very light pressure. As the light kind of filters through here and there. Some areas get lit up, some areas don't. All right. All right, keep it going. Just keep moving around. Notice I kind of can move around. I'll go from here, I'll go from there. Just try to keep it moving. Where's a green? I need a green. Need a green. I wonder if this one would work. It's called Deep Grandmother green, is that right? Deep grandmother green, okay, let's try it out. Deep grandmother green. Let me pull some paper off here. I'm gonna put some green into this tree. I don't know if this is the right green, so I might tone it with this lighter one here. And then we have a dark brown here, so maybe the combination of these three here to get in some of the leafy part or the foliage of this evergreen. So kind of get the, you know, the shape of that, the foliage coming off underneath. Right in here, greens, maybe some browns on that to kind of darken that a little bit. Brown on top to darken that a little. Where's my stump? What do I do with my stump? Here it is, buried underneath all my, there we go. Just kind of grab at the stump here and kind of mix those in. All right, and then the dark for the actual tree trunk part, right here. Continue that up. I'm getting close to this being done. Get some branches in there. Branches. Some more green on there for the foliage. So I'm just kind of mixing this green and this brown and just kind of mixing those in with each other a little bit. Try to create some of that evergreen foliage like you see on those pine trees, the way it kind of swoops down. And then at the edge of them, I can put in a lighter green some places. Not everywhere, but some of them will be a little lighter. Put a little lighter green. And then we'll build some snow on it some places. Some of that. All right, and use the brown for some dark parts, and then let me move this down a little. Okay, oh, lost my reference over here. And then I'm going to add a little bit of a highlight warmth to this. I'm going to need maybe a brown, like a reddish right here. I'm going to kind of lighten up the trunk here on this side of it. As it gets a little bit more light in certain parts. Okay. And then here where it hits the snow. Okay. All right. Then we're going to put some snow on those branches there in a second. So what we're going to do is right here, just add a thick layer of goopy snow right on top. I'm pressing in hard so it drops in a lot of texture. Right there. Kind of coming over this one, right there. Make it look like I press in so it drops a lot of that texture onto it. Makes it look like it's built up. Right in there, and then we're going to come in with a shaded color also, because some of it's in shade, some of it isn't. Some of it's getting hit by the light, some of it's not. Right, like in here. In the shadows, it's a little darker. Right. Right. Maybe some of this light blue here to see what that looks like. Some of it. As it clumps up on the branches and kind of falls down. And it creates these interesting shadows. You can almost see like the shadows of the leaves or the foliage, kind of right here in the snow. Right there. Push in, create more texture. Makes it look like it's a little bit thicker. So I'm pushing into the paper. So I can drop, more oil pastel on the surface. Okay. And this is just that light gray, but it looks all white compared to the blues that it sits next to. Okay, more we'll keep that heavier application at the front here. And then back here, not so heavy, but that way it looks a little bit thicker here in the front, the foreground. All right, and just keep playing like that. Just keep adding big, put some light in there. It's starting to get real goopy there. Let's come up here, let's add some more right in here. Nice. Coming around, guys, coming around. We're turning the corner on this one. Getting close. Getting close. You can just see the colors I'm using. Just really, you know, honestly, mostly it's just like 3 different shades. A couple different shades of blue, some white. The white acts as a highlight, so it really pops the light. You can put a thick stroke down into it, kind of builds it up, the texture, makes it look thick, like thick snow almost. And then you can use the light here, white here to kind of bring it a lot. I'm going to try that cream again. This crema cream. See if I can get a little bit of a yellowy glow to it. Wipe it off and see if I can get something down. It's kind of hard to tell, but it's in there. It kind of just looks like the other kind of gray. It's hard to tell the difference, but I don't know. Adds a little bit of a lightness to it, I guess. Back in here, this is my white, that's my white. Where's my gray? Back in here. So I'm not going to use my white in the background here because I don't want that to pop forward, but I want to smooth out this. So it's a little bit faded. I don't want a sharp line. No sharp lines back there. But I want to put a little snow on this tree. There, like that. A little bit of snow on that tree. Kind of pop it here and there. Maybe this one. A little snow. Snow on those. This one. And we'll come back in with a finger and just kind of smear it so it's not so as bright as these up here. Kind of smear it too, a little bit, so it sits back. Whereas up here, it's nice and thick. Okay, so that's the difference just in texture. You can create a sense of distance by having something smoother in the back and something not. Something textured in the front that acts as a sense of distance. All right. Some rocks here, snow-covered rocks. Okay. This is the white. This kind of uses the highlight for that sun. Okay. Anyway, guys, I am kind of turning a corner on this. I might just stop, or I might just keep going. I keep wanting to play with it. Anyway, it's a lot of fun. I like snowy scenes like this. I think the wrong blue I grabbed. It's supposed to be this one. Let's grab some more of this violet and bring some of this violet in here. Especially right in this midsection where it's a little bit brighter. Some of that in there. I like the these Paul Rubens. I just like how thick I can get things. Maybe there's some snow on some of those. Just really light branches that it might be covered. Right, and then we got that snowy covered roof right there. And there's supposed to be a chimney up there. I'm not really seeing it, but that's okay. Just an indication of it. Okay. Some more of this. So you have these different shades of blues and violets, and I don't know. Snow's fun. It's interesting the way it reflects light. And it's fun to try to recreate that. Let's work on this little rock here a little bit. Maybe I need it brighter. Push in that white into it. And right behind it, maybe there's another snowy little rock here. Like that. It's getting real thick, and I like the thick application though. think it works well for snow. There we go. And that water, frozen water. Which has a lot of white reflecting from the sun. Okay. And the water kind of flows down and kind of freezes up a little. All right, guys, I am nearing the corner. I'm kind of picking at it here. I'm just kind of going through and adding little things in here. I could be done. I probably am done, but as you know, I like to poke at it. And sometimes I see something. Sometimes I won't see it until the next day. I probably should have started with this cream in this section. I might have gotten a little bit better effect with it, but I don't know. I think it still works. It still works a little. So yeah, so Paul Rubens on sanded surface. Love it. Love it a lot. Highly recommend that, to give that a go. There's some parts of here where it's just a Nupastel, like over here, and there's some parts where it's really thick with oil pastel. So it's just kind of you know, if the Nupastel layer is working, I don't really try to go over it. If it's already working, there's no reason to try to go over it with the oil pastel. So I'll just kind of leave those areas alone, but sometimes I'll need to readdress, and so I just go with it until I feel it's right. Okay. And anyway, it's supposed to be a rock right there. Some water. Remember, water lays flat. Kind of take the finger and kind of drag that about. There's a rock right there. Where's my black? Put some black in the crevices and this part of it right in here. Kind of in the corners. Kind of makes it look deeper when it's in the corners like that. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Just an idea of how to do some snow. And seeing how the Nupastel works with these oil pastels. Really like them with the Paul Rubens, especially with using the fixative on it, the workable fixative, because it adds a grit, adds like this gritty feel to the paper, which then pulls off the Paul Rubens really nicely. And much easier to work with than saying doing something that's 100% Paul Rubens. right? So just make sure when you're using dry pastel, whether that's Nupastel or you can use a soft pastel, just make sure that you put a workable fixative in between those two mediums, as that is absolutely a must. And trust me, I've tried it without it, and it doesn't work. Okay, so maybe the creek kind of falls back in there. So always go with a workable fixative between the two before you continue on. Otherwise, you'll have a huge problem. All right. Yeah, let's just stop with it for a little while. I can probably come back. With it. Let's move all these guys back. Take a look at it. I've been playing around with it for a while. And we'll sign it. And then I'll probably poke at it some more. Let's sign with the red. I like to sign with the red. Let's go down in here, this corner right here. So red. All right, fingerprints. Okay. And we'll take the tape off it here in a second. I kind of want to, I keep seeing things and then I kind of want to, maybe a little bit more right here. Trying to get that crema in there to work, but I don't know if it's really gonna make it. Probably should have started with that. But here we go. Let's take a look. So back in there. You see the texture of the thick application here. Here's the water. You see the black in there in the corners. And the different shades of blue and the violet that's in there. I really like the water, the creek area. And then how it goes back in the distance. And then over here we have those trees. Right. That's pretty much it. I mean, at this point, I'm just picking at it. So I think I'm just going to call it done. And anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. It's been a while since I've done a snowy season. It's been a while since I used the Paul Rubens. So I do like them much better on a sanded surface for sure. I think they work better on a sanded surface. So maybe we'll do another one later on. And yeah, I just want to add another tutorial, and I'm going to do that tiger one. In fact, I'm going to do a snow leopard and a tiger, 2 separate paintings. Might do the snow leopard first, so I found a good reference photo for it. Here's my reference photo again. Oh, you can see the difference. The tree's kind of cool, the way it's all done. Okay, guys, let's remove the tape. Why not? Let's remove the tape. almost fell down. And the bottom one. So removing tape, you gotta go a little slow sometimes to make sure you don't rip the paper. Pastel mount's pretty thick and durable, so it doesn't really come in to be a problem. Some of your lighter papers though will rip. So just when you remove your tape, always kind of start slow and there we go. There we go. Yep. So that's pastel mount for you. Nice, thick, kind of feels like a cardboard. All right, one last look at it. All right, everybody, thanks for watching and subscribing and your comments. I do look forward to reading those. And hope this was helpful and learned something. I learned that Paul Rubens work great on a sanded surface. That's what I learned in this. And hopefully you learned how to use Nupastels with oil pastels, making sure that you use a workable fixative in between those two mediums. And you can get some really nice work with it. Get a nice buildup of color. And you save on your oil pastels because you're not using them 100%. So you can kind of do a lot of it in that first layer with the Nupastel. And I've done lots of paintings this way. Able to kind of extend your oil pastel collection so you're not going through them so fast. So there we have it, Snowy Creek scene. All right, hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.